So at least one person claims that the reason herbs are not prescribed as drugs by licensed physicians is that the medical effectiveness of herbs is seriously in doubt. So we're saying like, hey, the reason that some people say that the reason we don't prescribe these is because their effectiveness is in doubt. Okay, that makes sense to me. I'm like, but like there's some people that claim this. No
Mm-hmm.
drug can be offered for sale, however, unless it has regulatory agency approval for medical use in a specific illness or conditions. Okay, so this is what it takes. And just FYI, what kind of condition does unless introduce?
Um, it's just sufficient.
Unless actually brings in necessary. So unless also has an N in it. So unless
Oh,
brings in our, I don't think we probably don't need to know this for this question, but unless, so it is a regulatory agent approval. So I'm just going
okay.
to
So
say
then,
regulatory approval. But unless is one of those fancy ones that you have to switch the sufficient. So it's saying like no drug can be offered for sale. So if we were to negate that, it would be like offered, like drug for sale.
okay. So drugs are only for sale if they are
Yes.
like regulatory agency approval. Okay.
Yeah, like if I said you can't have ice cream unless you eat your dinner. Like if you
Yeah.
have ice cream, what does that mean happen? You ate your dinner.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Awesome. Okay, so anyway, so we're saying that okay, so drugs can't be for sale unless they're regulatory. It cost about 200 millions to get this approved, and only the holder of a patent can expect to recover such large expenses. Okay. Although methods of extracting particular substance from herbs can be patented, herbs themselves and their medical uses cannot be. Therefore, under the current system, licensed physicians cannot recommend the medicinal use of herbs.
Okay.
I feel like this is not a strong argument, but cool. That's probably what makes
No.
it challenging. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. All right. So, what is the strategy used or what is this author use to get to this conclusion at the end?
um, it seems like he's just using examples of like why it can't be. So he's like bringing in like actual factual information and like
Yeah, we kind of say like to sell it, you need to have this, but to get this thing, it's hard because of this. So therefore,
yeah,
at this point, it's not going to happen.
yeah. Oh, okay, okay, I see now. So there's like a big assumption there, pretty much.
Yeah, they're saying like, hey, they don't currently have it, and to get that thing that you need to sell it, it takes all of this, which is too hard to get, so it's just not going to happen.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay.
All right, so go ahead and
So
look at that.
for answer choice A, questioning a claim about why something is the case by supplying an alternative explanation. No, A is wrong.
Yeah, we don't say this shouldn't be like licensed physicians should do this because these herbs have been proven to solve cancer. Like we don't do that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. B is attacking the validity of the data on which a competing claim is based. No, we're not
No,
really
don't
attacking
say
the validity.
that study was biased in these herbs support cancer.
Yeah,
So yeah, cure.
yeah. Revealing an inconsistency in the reasoning used to develop an opposing position. Revealing an inconsistency, so not consistent, not the same, not flowing, and the reasoning used to develop. No, that doesn't make sense. C is wrong.
Excellent.
Because technically it's kind of consistent. Like you can't get this, and it's really hard. If
Yeah,
you can only do this if you can get this, and this is really hard to get, therefore you're not going to get it. So,
excellent.
D, identifying all plausible explanations for why something is the case and arguing that all but one of them can be eliminated. Identifying all plausible explanations for why something is the case. So why doctors can't prescribe this and arguing that all of one of them could be eliminated. I don't think I like that one, and
No,
I
but
think
they'll
it's the
say like
ending.
all of these things can cause this, and none of them are true, but this one thing. Like,
Yeah.
I think we're giving all these things because we think all of them are the case.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I led you astray because I just read through these and they all sucked. And I was being passive on this when I read it. So
Okay.
when it said, and this is why they're hard, questioning a claim about why something is the case. So we say up here that the reason that it's the case is that medical effectiveness of herbs is serious in doubt, like how well they work is in doubt. Is the
Okay.
reason that we don't use these because we doubt how effective they are? No, we explain why they're not used is because of this
Um,
other thing.
oh my God. Okay.
Sorry,
This,
I
yeah.
completely was like, no, we don't question a claim. No, that's exactly, I mean, yeah. Because I read through, okay, so could now read E and be like, yeah, it's not E either.
Testing a theory by determining the degree to which a specific situation conforms to the predictions of that theory. There's really no theory.
Right, like
Um,
we're like testing a theory by determining the degree to which, yeah, and we're like, okay, so even if this was a theory where it was like medical effectiveness are in doubt, and we're
mhm.
testing like something it's in doubt, and we're trying to say like, oh, in this situation here, does it fit to like they're not in doubt or they're not affected or their effectiveness? Like we don't do that, yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you would have gotten through here, would you have gone back up and been like, okay? And so I went back up and I read A, and I was like, questioning a theory. The other ones were so bad.
I definitely would have read all of them and been like, what the hell is this? Like I would have read through E and been like, E's not right either, and then I would have had to like go back up, but I definitely didn't think A was the correct answer.
No, and I think A was the one I was most passive about, and that typically happens where I get passive and I went back up and I was like questioning a claim, and I forced myself, okay, where could I be questioning a claim at? And I found it, and I was like, all right, this is what happens.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right.
Okay.
Continue to let me know how things go and continue to work on your homework, and you're going to do really well.